born when I was 2.5. And as you could imagine, you know, like I'm a very big-willed kind of human, and I loved my mother so much that when my sister was born, I've had this come up.
Hi. School started today. Spanish class. I just got back from that wonderful vacation with Brayden in Oklahoma. Magnificent. And I'm gonna go home and journal and do my fitness and keto bullet journal. Because I did keto and mindful movement every day of my vacation, including Memorial Day, which was when I got back. And then I was like super low on caffeine and all that stuff, all that awesome stuff. It felt fucking amazing. And then of course the first day of school and back in the office, and I'm chugging caffeine and eating candy to stay focused, which I'm not hard on myself about. I'm just noticing after that fucking amazing vacation. And I got to connect with Taylor, my roommate, yesterday, and just vibe and catch up, and called Jonathan today, and vibed and caught up. So feeling really blessed, feeling like I scheduled for my first therapy appointment with Autonomy Therapy, who came to our mental health resource fair, and I love that title for therapy. So I'm excited to talk to them, and yeah, but I'm noticing, okay, day one, Spanish class was fun. It's all in Spanish, so it's gonna be amping up the stress levels. I can understand what she's saying, but we're gonna have to be speaking. It'll be okay. So pretty. It's very pretty. Or just keep going with how it is.
Had a bit of trouble figuring out the Spanish class. Also procrastinating. It gets amazing, but then it also just gets like really scattered, because in the same way that when I was first dating, I was dating so many people and it was just too much to find like the one or two people that I really clicked with. And it feels that way in building community too. Like I'm doing this community thing, I'm doing that community thing, I'm trying to connect with these people and those people, and get involved in this and volunteer with this, and it's just like whoosh, and then you find the one or two things that stick. But you can't just do one or two things. It's this will all make, what I've learned from these video blogs is these will all make sense in the end when I see where I get to. But on the journey, it sure fucking feels weird.
Spanish test this morning, guys. Wish me luck. I unfortunately found myself procrastinating and chatting with some very important friends yesterday and the day before. But I can say this: ¿A dónde fuiste ayer? Come on, I can do it. Comí ensalada con tomate. ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que ugiste el fútbol? The second one I need to check out. Okay, so just that's where I'm at. Just pray for me.
Oh my gosh. I sucked so hard at that test. We had the oral evaluation, and I knew like 3 questions, and there were like 25.
Study group about that, about what we should be focusing on, because I felt very fuzzy on it this time. So there's that. The other thing I've learned from these kinds of classes is that, you know, you get better at it as it goes on. Beautiful campus. The other things, my work has been so fuzzy. I have a friend, well, one of my dearest friends, Jonathan, and then also a dear friend, Nin, are therapists, and I met another therapist recently, and just other non-therapist friends that I have been talking about work, but especially therapy and mental health organizations, and how they can really damage your ability they can just be really identity damaging, in the fact that you're being told, especially if you're a neurodivergent, you're being told by people around you that just unique, beautiful things about you, that what makes you good at your job are moral failings. And you're being told that you have to do all of these things, like dress a certain way and walk a certain way and keep Teams open on your computer and go to all these trainings and speak in a certain way to your colleagues in a certain amount of time. And it's so... and engage in a professional manner, which I completely disagree with. And I'm voicing this not to complain. I really want to make the best out of what we have and believe that everything can be beautiful, and I do. But I think that we have to acknowledge the systems that are. I think you need to be able to acknowledge. I think you have to acknowledge. Oh, what the fuck? That is not how train ones are supposed to sound. Let's start that sentence over. I think you have to acknowledge what's hurting you in order to be able to make any difference. You know, if you're eating something and you're allergic to it, you can be like, oh my god, I'm forced to eat this every day, it sucks. That's not going to get you anywhere. But also being like, I'm fine eating this, there's no problem, is also not going to get you anywhere. You know, I think you have to be able to be like, this does not feel good to my body. This is why there's this ingredient in it that is poisonous to me. So now that I know that, I'm going to seek the things that do feel good to my body, you know. That's where I think the spirituality trap happens for a lot of people, is this kind of love and light where you are, when sometimes manifestation and aligning with your values is supposed to bring you. There's alarms going off everywhere, and I don't know what's happening. Anyway, but it's supposed to bring you closer to your values. It's supposed to, which has to lead you away from other things, away from your own habits, away from the way that people and systems are impacting you. Anyway, so works has been a bit gnarly lately. I think with my good friend's help, look at these beautiful flowers. I think with my good friend's help, I've been able to see that the way that they operate is very, very toxic to me. And so you're finding the ways that, excuse me, you can minimize that, and that you can reserve spoons for it when necessary. That's interesting. So that's my mid-morning thoughts. Sorry, but this is one of the most insulting things that has ever happened in my entire life. I've been assigned to this because I was 5 minutes late. So, and because I'm neurodivergent. So, yeah. But now I am trying to procrastinate on my school, so we're getting it done. That's how you do it. What? This is the wrong option? What? What? Okay, so we're being taught how to talk now? Okay, okay, I guess I picked the right one.
Don't be using that jargon like I ran my antivirus program and cleared the cache. That's not effective team communication.
It's kind of cute. I had a little time fantasizing this morning about what would it look like. I was feeling really down and drained last night, which I do sometimes. Just like when it's been a stressful time, when I'm just focusing on work and school, I can get really depressed. And so I was, I turned on, I got all cozy, and I turned on this like life coaching ASMR, which was really good. She had some really good things to say. Sometimes I watch tarot card readings during that time, and they often have good things to say. But she was really on it, and sharing some stuff about breaking down your goals, but also about like dreaming big. I think when I've had therapists in the last couple of years ask me about my goals, I get annoyed because I'm like, yeah, I guess I want to go to grad school, I guess I want to whatever. But that does not feel, I don't feel that in my body. You know, she was asking me, what do you take away all these barriers? What do you really want? What actually feels right? What are actually you know? And so it was a lot of things that I got to fantasize about. About like living in, you know, intentional community with lovers and friends, and starting a family, and a village, and
Yeah. Do those stout in the past. Petty is a trigger. Expected behavior from somebody else. Perfect subjunctive. I'm watching this YouTube video by Elena where she's talking about realizing she was gay during COVID, and she was stuck with her husband or husband to be, and I just brought up a memory in my mind that I remember. I was a little brazen shit during COVID, because I remember being on a call, like a game night call, with you and Christy and probably Lee and maybe Glenna, Jamie, just some friends, maybe another out youth person. I was doing an online game night, and before we met in person, and I think we'd done a couple of these, and we were joking around. Everybody was joking around and talking about stuff and playing online games, and then you said something like we were saying something about like COVID and how COVID had been crazy because Christy figured out she was gay during COVID. I had a breakup during COVID. I think Jamie had a breakup during COVID or something. But while on the call with you, I was like, oh yeah, COVID, the time when we all realized that when we all had to spend 24/7 with our significant others, and realized that we were kind of sick of kissing the same person every day. And I just said that off the bat, and I remember like clocking you and being like, are they gonna react to this? And I remember you looking like a little bit like, you were like, oh my god, yeah, but then you also looked a little bit like, the fuck? I'm looking back and being like, was that a side angle flirt? Okay, we are down. I was just doing my habit tracking stuff for
May, which was not excellent, but it was definitely better than it has been. Some yoga, some dancing, socializing, some keto. And going into June, social, a lot of social, a lot of school, just a little bit of keto. No dancing or yoga this week yet, although I could go do some yoga at home tonight, one of my cooking. And tomorrow is a couple of social stuff. It is Corey's event and the Goddess Gathering, and I'm going to study a little bit more, learning these for the oral exam. And maybe I'll work out if Corey's thing gets canceled, because yeah. And so right now we are 2 weeks into the 5-week session, and so we only have 3 weeks to go. We're almost halfway there. So I got a pretty good score so far. Gonna have to up it on that. And yeah, it's a messy meal prep going on. My soup boiled over, but I thought I had a lot of peppers. I'm making some chili with these dried beans and tomatoes and pretty much just any seasonings that I had in the pantry. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Meal prep central. This is gonna be good. Hi, Nico. It's a cozy evening. Make some tea. Feeling a little bit off, but that's totally okay. Just got done what I needed to get done. I had some kitty cuddles. Make some tea. I was just thinking about how, you know, progress, fitness, food, etc. It doesn't look how you think it's gonna look. It's not this fast, it's exciting, buzzy thing. Sometimes it's just making chili and putting whatever spices you have in it and staying home feeling a little meh. And your friends are going to a party that you felt like not exactly ready to go to, and you also wanted to make chili. So, you know. Oh, there's a bottle here. Make some of that too. Love you. Love you, kitty.